Okay, it looks like we are now live, sending out notifications. And give it about 5 minutes. You know what? No, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this. So today is Monday, October the 3rd. For those of you who follow us on TikTok and YouTube and all that, you've probably seen that, you know, there were some big changes coming in October. My hair is a mess. I've been cleaning the parking lot. Oh, got this one sprig that just will not go down. Got like a Goku thing going on there. It just won't go away. Alright. So, for those of you who watched our TikTok, watched our YouTube, follows us on Facebook, or any of the other platforms where we've discussed just some of the changes coming to some of our online partners, there was a lot of hype around TCGPLAYER selling comic books this month. There was a lot of stuff that was told to me. Today is the day for us to start listing things. And there was a lot of tools that were supposed to be available to us, but are not actually available. And the user interface it's there, but it is bad. It is very bad, and I don't see actual game stores and actual comic book stores going through the lengthy process that they have built. It's just too clunky. It eats up way too much time. It is not intuitive. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'm going to show and kind of explain what we were told was going to happen and what was ultimately delivered and made available to us for today. Now granted, you know, I like TCGPLAYER as much as you can like a platform. You know, after all, they are a business. But I really hyped up their service, and it's not that I'm unhappy with their service. It's the fact that this is so problematic and so hard to get through that a lot of stores are probably not going to utilize it, and this platform probably won't get the attention that it needs to really do a big boost to advertise comic books. And it may be a dead in the water product line on this website. But really, you know, they've got 19 days, or no, 21 days. I'm sorry. It goes live on the 24th. They've got 21 days to iron out these issues. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and explain what we were told in one of our conference calls, and then show what we ultimately have to work with. All right. So we're going to start with this Wolverine the Anniversary #1 Direct Edition. It's beautiful, great condition. So we were told that you know, we could export CSVs from some of our favorites collection trackers, and we would be able to import them into TCGPLAYER. We got a template of how they expect books to be imported. And so this is the entire catalog of everything that is available. You can see category is Marvel, so it's either going to be Marvel or DC right now, which isn't a problem. You can build a formula to just fill this in automatically once you get your information here. The problem, though, is the way that they are listing these products. You have near mint, fine, good, and fair, which is fine. You know, having them in those broad categories. These are not graded books, so this platform will not be available for graded books, unless, of course, you know, you want to sell your near mint graded pieces in here. However, you're going to need to lock in your prices. This is all just your queued, your POQ, to be shelved, buy list, total, direct, total on hand, and all that. But the way that these are written out, set in product, these do not match, and these cannot be used in a variable lookup formula to match any of the current collection trackers that are available today. So if you use anything like Go Collect, Comics Price Guide, Binder POS, if you used anything from a store level or from a, well, maybe Binder POS. Binder might work, but that is a heavily paid for monthly subscription point of sale service that is out of the reach for most comic stores. But if you use anything like Go Collect or Comics Price Guide or any of those apps to be able to track and keep up with comic book pricing and inventory, the spreadsheets that those two platforms are going to put out, you're not going to be able to import them into this. So the major collection apps right now, the major apps that you're going to have CSVs in, even if you just wrote all the information out from one of the major collection sites into your point of sale and exported a CSV, that's not always going to match up to this. So the point of CSV upload is useless. Now CSV upload is useful if you are able to use the quick list tool by TCGPLAYER. However, quick list does not currently have the availability to scan comic books. So this whole spreadsheet mass importation is useless. It serves no purpose because you can't use it. You can't export the data from any point of sale or from any collection tracker app and use that data in here, because usually you could use a variable lookup or a VLOOKUP formula. You could create another worksheet, drop in all of your information into the second worksheet, and then have it pull the information from this first one. However, in order to do that, these have to be laid out in the same format. Yet again, TCGPLAYER is doing a unique format to their informational databases, and because their format is not matching industry standards, none of your spreadsheets are going to be compatible across trackers. So that's going to really significantly slow a lot of us down. One thing that I recommended but was not promised in our communication was all these columns here, having a third column with item URL. That way, if you upload and have all your stuff available on your website, you'd be able to put the URL here and do it kind of like the eBay CSV importer. But right now, this CSV importer serves no purpose whatsoever. So we're not going to save it at all. This right here, if you go into inventory on your seller dashboard and you go right here and you type in the full name of the comic book and the issue number, you may pull one up. So you have to go through the entire process of writing out the full name of the book plus the issue number and hope that you get the right one. This one, because it's such a unique product, you know, there's only one thing that's available. But if you look here, there were supposed to be market price listings. Like they were supposed to already have the market price data for these catalogs in there. There is none. You can actually see right now, lowest listing. The only reason that this data is here is because we put it in here. So they had plenty of time to pull the market values, even if they just did a one-time export of the market values from Go Collect or Comics Price Guide or any of the platforms out there. Anything's better than nothing. There is nothing here for market data. The only thing that is here is literally the one listing that we have, and that's what everybody is going to see now. For all we know, you know, I know this probably isn't going to be a high-dollar book, but for all we know, this could be a. Tell you what, let's go back and let's look for. Let's do a wild example. I'm pretty sure those who can see me typing know what I'm about to search up in their inventory. Or was it 1 or 15? I think it's 15. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. And see, right now the whole thing is just locking up bad. Their website had like, see the whole thing, its response time is really bad today. It could be because a lot of people are logging in trying to do this, but yeah, this right here, Amazing Fantasy, that's 10. That's not even the correct one. But yeah, so you see Amazing Fantasy number 15 here. So here we go. For those of you who are aware, this is one of the crazy priced books. But for people who don't know any better, that are just going to come here, there's no market data. There's no pricing data at all. How are you expecting us to come here and sell? I mean, if somebody comes across one of these, this Amazing Fantasy number 15, one of the first appearance, or no, that is the first appearance of Spider-Man, because this is the regular. I mean, there's no market data. Somebody's just going to come in and just put a number on it? I mean, they're partnered with eBay, for Christ's sake. eBay has bought TCGPLAYER at least Use eBay most recent sold listing. I mean, the pricing data is available. There's no reason why it shouldn't be here. But let's go back again. Let's look at something else here, because I noticed just now when we were looking. So, Amazing Fantasy number 15. But if you look over here, see, this just says Amazing Fantasy number 15. So if you just have that older version, this is supposed to be the first appearance of Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy number 15. But you see there's regular British Spider-Man, facsimile edition, and then there's just the plain one. You then have to look over at set, which is where they're putting their publication dates, and you have Amazing Fantasy 2004. So, just clearly, the way that they have listed products in here, their database needs a serious overhaul, and it needs to match the current industry standards that are out there. They're not matching industry standards. It's not going to be intuitive or easy to find the product you're looking for, because you would think if it's first print, it's just going to be the plain Amazing Fantasy number 15. But no, you have to then go through the sets and dig through those. And then once you do, it doesn't even have pricing data. That's fine, though. But here's a hiccup. It's fine not to have pricing data because, all the books probably aren't in. They're probably updating as they go. Which means that as long as you have an automated rule to run and update your prices every day, eventually, as the data is imported in, it will correct itself before it goes live on the 24th. That's why whenever we had our meeting, they advertised to us that the mass price tool was going to be available for us, so that way we can make sure that our prices are updated daily. So I figured since there's no product data, there's no pricing data, I would go ahead and build the rule so that way it would run and check for any pricing data as it was imported. The problem, though, we went here to create a rule. We labeled it Marvel Comics market price, minimum of $10. We're looking for my selling prices, anything with a price. We can do just my inventory only. Here's the TCG Player market prices or my store prices, either one. But if we hit market prices and click here, Marvel and DC are not available in mass price like it was advertised to us. Maybe it's just something to do with my category, so we'll choose my store prices. Nope, still no market for Marvel and DC. So as of right now, I'm kind of at a loss, because essentially what I'm going to have to do is every one of these books that are in these boxes, and in all of those boxes, because this is this week's intake, I'm going to have to put every bit of this into our point of sale or into one of our collection trackers or something that has pricing data. I'm then going to have to look and see what the prices are, and then once I've pulled all of these books and manually imported them into either it be a point of sale system or a spreadsheet or any type of collection tracker, after I have looked up the price of every one of these books, I'm then going to have to go back into TCG Player and list every one of them individually again. Yes, they are consolidating and adding a new marketplace on TCG Player. Yes, they are expanding their reach to be able to encapsulate comic books. However, everything that was described to us in our meeting that was supposed to make this user-friendly and easy to, oh yeah, because the biggest thing that hit us was whenever I asked them, I said, hey, can we export a CSV from our collection trackers or our point of sale and import it in? And the rep that I was talking to said, yeah, we're going to send you a full template of how to do that. And we're going to also send you a CSV with the complete listed catalog. As we looked, those CSVs are useless. We can't even use a variable lookup form to get an accurate product. Then again, even if we could choose the accurate product with a CSV, the way they've listed some of these products, such as Amazing Fantasy number 15, just Amazing Fantasy number 15, should have been the first appearance of Spider-Man from 1962. However, it's not. The Amazing Fantasy number 15 that they have listed is the 2004 version. So you could have $1 million comic book, you put it in the CSV, you push it over, it lists it as like a $10 book. Then it doesn't even have market data, which is another thing that was advertised to us. Market prices were going to be available in it. Even though the market prices aren't available, you should be able to set up rules and an automated rule using their API to update the prices as they're put in. That hasn't been done either. So we can't use the CSVs. We can't export from any of our point of sales or our collection trackers. We can't use the mass price to correct the prices and look it up as it happens. And we can't even rely on their listings, because their listings, the way they're written, are not accurate. So, to say the least, this was supposed to streamline the process. I mean, I'm fine with listing the books twice if I have to list them in my my point of sale or my collection tracker apps to be able to get market prices, if they could just make the spreadsheets work. But they don't. They have not followed industry standards that have been in practice for over 10 years on any of this. And the things that they advertised were going to be available for us today are not even available. So I'm going to continue to dig through. I know it's like 10 a.m. on Monday, October the 3rd. This is, the first day that they're allowing anybody to list anything. But I don't currently see a way where most stores are going to dedicate the hourly time to do this, because this is so unfriendly and just not intuitive whatsoever, and it doesn't work well with anything else that exists in this atmosphere. But I'm going to dig around with it. If I can find a shortcut on how to streamline this process and make it go faster, then I'll come back here and I'll share the shortcut. But right now, TCG Player, I'm really hoping that you guys are paying attention to this, because while I may dawdle through and see if I could list a couple thousand books this way, I'm not going to list our entire catalog of like 40 to 50,000 books one at a time across 2 or 3 different platforms manually. And I'm pretty sure most stores are not going to do that. So y'all need to roll out some sort of update. Ideally, if you guys want to see this happen, because a lot of stores are not going to do this. You may have some individual collectors, but a lot of stores, that's where you're going to get most of your large, massive amounts of books and your new releases. They're not going to go through this process. This is not well handled.